All right, Jim, our next question, another popular topic, sent to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com. This is from, well, this is my new favorite name, Levi Panky. Levi's question, I have a question. Have you seen...
Wait a minute. How do you spell that last name?
Pankey.
So it's old Levi Hanky Panky.
Well, here's Levi Hanky Panky's question. I'm so sorry, Levi. I'm sure you've heard that joke throughout your life, and it's really mean that Jim did that, but here we go. Have you seen the Booker T promo? I don't know if I call it a promo, Levi. I'm talking to Levi now. Have you seen Booker T's comments, Jim, about CM Punk's return?
Yes, I did.
I have them here. Let me read them in case anyone out there...
I was about to say, if you would, I know you have the transcript. Let's go ahead and read this so that nobody is unclear about what he said.
The only thing I'm unclear about is where this came from. It's either a podcast or Booker T's podcast.
I think it was his podcast, I believe, but I'm not for sure.
I have no idea. Everyone has a podcast. I have no idea. Here's the quote. CM Punk came back and he had 10 full minutes to go out there and make his point as far as CM Punk being back. He had the perfect crowd to be able to go out there and really, I'm talking about have a party up in that United Center. But CM Punk came back and took his moment and chose to talk about WWE. That right there was a total miss. As far as I'm concerned, he struck out. For me, it was the same promo that was given in WWE. It was about WWE. It had nothing meaningful to it as far as what I'm going to create, who I'm going to blow up, how I'm going to take AEW by coming in by being a nice guy and throwing out a freaking ice cream bar. Who gives a damn about that? And those are the quote, that's the quote, the comments from Booker T.
What was he watching? What was he? If any of that had happened, I'd be right in Booker T's corner. But it didn't. He took 10 minutes to get to the ring because he was actually out there for 20. He took 10 minutes to get to the ring because people were screaming so loud. Then the promo was 10 minutes. And he never mentioned the WWE by name or by letters. But what he did was address the reason why he left was that I could not get well physically, spiritually, emotionally in the same place that made me sick, which was a great line. And also that people knew was the truth, that he wasn't working them. And then he proceeded to talk about everything else. I'm back. And then he sold the match with Darby and a blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Is it just that because is Booker still affiliated with or aligned with the WWE and he felt like that he had, okay. Have they sent out a memo that you cannot praise this, even though it was the greatest moment on wrestling television in recent memory? So you have to lie about it? Or you have to, I trended on Twitter again because people were saying, well, even Cornette liked it, Booker. I mean, that's insane. And let's face it, Booker T has never done a promo like that in his life. I've done a few promos like that, but never with that reaction. But Booker's never had that reaction nor ever done that promo. And I don't see what anybody could, besides the fact not seeing what anybody could dislike about it, besides that it wasn't any longer than it already was, because that would have helped us not see the rest of the shit on that show. But besides that, what he is accusing Punk of doing did not actually take place. And I don't know what he was listening to.
Yeah, if you watch that and listened to that promo and came away from it thinking Punk just buried WWE, I don't know what the hell is going on in your head.
Is it just the Houston thing? Nobody with it has Vince bought Houston, where nobody that lives in the Houston city limits can knock the WWE.
That may be true. Like the Scientology mind melt, the Baghdad Bobism of all of a sudden just spinning the company line, even if they don't ask you to. I'm not sure. I don't know what Booker T's talking about here. It seems a little, bitter's not the word. It seems maybe personal against Punk just because what else could it be? He's completely misrepresenting the promo.
Well, I don't know if there's heat personally between them or not. And like you said, it's not bitter, but it's just...
It's weird, yeah.
It's weird, yeah, because if he doesn't like Punk personally, then I can understand that. But then I would have tried to figure out a better way to knock a guy I didn't like personally than to look like an idiot by saying that the thing that everybody universally pretty much loved was not any good, and with a fake reason why.
Yeah, be careful, Booker. You may get labeled as out of touch. But what I was going to say, Jim, and I didn't watch much TNA over the years, every now and then. But I think you were in TNA when Booker T came in.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Because I don't, off the top of my head, if I saw it back then, I don't remember any of those promos when he came in. Because I know other guys, like the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn and guys who left there, came in there and it was really anti-WWF stuff. Did Booker T ever, because he's criticizing Punk for this, when Booker T came to TNA, did he ever mention or talk about WWE in a negative light in a promo?
It seems like, I wish that I had chapter and verse here, either a transcript or a copy of the shows, because obviously, besides the fact that's been 15 years ago, if I was going to remember promos word for word, they probably wouldn't be Booker's. But it seems to me like that there was some sideways mentions of things at first, but as I said, I don't remember the Booker promos. I'm going to remember Punk's for goddamn 20 years. I don't remember Booker's because they weren't that memorable as CM Punk's was. And I think now I'm not even knocking Booker here. I'm just saying he looks bad knocking something like that when he's never achieved anything like that, and hardly anybody else ever has either. And it obviously was over. And so that it just looks bad. I don't, as many people have figured out over the last couple of weeks, I don't knock everything. I just knock the stuff that's the shits. And it's not my fault that most of the things in wrestling are the shits these days. But give me something good to look at. Punk's return, Walter and Ilya, FTR, other people we praise, and I'll say something good about it. It's just so few and far between.